Now recording. Welcome to the website meeting for 11 November 2021. Yeah, sorry, it's kind of late, weird schedule due to the conflict, and this is the narrow discussion specifically around the website. So we'll start off with reiterating what Mark just said. Moving forward in Season 0, the landing page of the website is going to be primarily controlled by the design team, or the design guild. So that'll be a change from how things have been. And after that, go right into the action item review. So, any further look at the Infura key stuff?
The only thing I was able to figure out is that it might be Ibby's, but I have not heard back on that. It was not Nagma's. Nobody else seems to know where it came from, so yeah, it's weird. I'll be honest with you, I actually forgot to follow up with Ibby, so it's a good thing we have these meetings and follow up on things.
Exactly. Alright. NARBS, the spec for .env.example.
Yeah, so mostly that whole thing got resolved with Alex's last PR, where we have a quote-unquote test environment for every preview commit that gets deployed. Mm-hmm. So the landing page is pointing to the ring to be a test environment. Yay! And we do have both a production and development env file in the repo now, and everything is in there except for the Infura key, which is still inferred on the Vercel server. So that is, I think we can call it done.
Okay. And back to you, Mark, the ability to set up analytics and our ability to share access to those analytics for the website.
I do finally have access to the developer.dial1@gmail.com email address. Mm-hmm. So we are able to move forward and get that set up. As far as sharing it, I don't really know how that works, but I'm sure we can figure it out. Okay. Sharing access to it. I'm assuming we still want to move forward with Google Analytics as the starting solution.
So there was a point brought up, or a couple of points brought up about the privacy policies and the fact that we might have to have like a pop-up saying we might be using your cookies for analytics and whatnot. So maybe it warrants another huddle up to clamp down on the direction with that before we settle with GA. But
if we don't wanna use Google Analytics, I've just posted a link to an alternative that maybe we can look into. I heard from a lot of people that this is really nice and basically provides all the features we would need.
Yeah, that looks nice. That's
cool. And it bills itself as GDPR compliant. I'm going to be real, I'm American, so I don't really understand the implications of European data privacy. I probably should understand it a little more than I do, but...
They're scary and we shouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole as possible. Basically anything that GDPR covers we should avoid. Okay, so considering Google Analytics and its issues versus other options like plausible. Okay, cool. And thank you for that, Daiwat. Triage. I was kind of getting to this late, so I have the triage tickets at least, so we have 4 that were open this week. One of them is assigned. Going down the list, we have 171, which is linking to the developer DAO Substack. My own opinion is that one can probably use a little bit of design. That's 171. Words and okay, that looks like it has a PR associated. No, that is associated with the landing page. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the conversation on this ticket basically reinforces that, yes, we should probably have some design to make sure that this looks exactly how we want it. I feel like that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Once,
Yeah, I think that's a good issue to bring up with the design guild once they get started working on this, to make sure they can incorporate that. 'Cause that feels like a natural thing to just have on the front page.
Mm-hmm. 173, building a storybook for UI component testing. So it was proposed by Alan P. Curie, and it appears that he is taking it on, or maybe it's Curry, not Curie. He has a draft PR, and he has a question that he has put out today, so I'm not worried about it. Looks like he's getting work done, though. .175, IPFS-based front end. So there's been discussion, and basically it comes down to, this is one of those cases where if you go and implement something fully on your own, perhaps it's not desirable. So there are questions, and I don't really have much else to say. Like, there's a question of feature parity, and has not been fully addressed yet.
Yeah, the proposal was very focused on being a hosting solution, which is like, to me, that's only 5% of what we actually need from a tool. And so like, I'm open to doing like a mirrored deployment or something where we can use their tool to help them track data, or build some solutions and help them out with that. But as far as like being our primary tool, it feels like a step in the wrong direction for us.
Mm-hmm.
We would lose a lot to not really gain much of anything, in my opinion.
And I don't think they support server-side rendering yet, and I don't think our site is fully static yet. I could be wrong.
I actually can't remember.
Yeah, I think there's some server-side things.
Yeah, I think with with I18 Next currently we're using server side, right?
I do believe so. Or
Yes.
we're trying to do that.
Well, at the very least, you have to call
We're
the
stuck.
Yeah.
function when you do the server side.
Get server-side props.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, bears more explanation, more robust features. This is kind of out there. It's the best I can say. And then wallet connection and token search functionality. Like, this is 177, and Brandon Frollo wants to take this on. I'm not sure, depending on how fast he would be able to accomplish this. Like, we may be out of tokens. So.
I mean, it'd be cool to have like a sign-in with Ethereum on our site, but like there isn't much mileage to get out of it at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
other than saying, "Oh, hey, cool, yeah, I have a Genesis token, sweet."
Right. Yeah, that's it kind of gets into what is the developer guild actually going to do for season 0?
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. Each leader was going to. I want to make it clear that I'm saying leader with air quotes because I think that's important. Like, we were going to talk about like what we're thinking and the general direction we want to head at the town hall tomorrow. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about is like focusing on like a hackathon, and maybe theming that hackathon around building internal tooling to like support our own stuff or our own community, And I think that this kind of thing kind of goes into that, like being able to log into a developer DAO app that you can connect to, your various wallets. You can connect it to your GitHub, connect it to Discord, and I think like just building something that allows us to connect that and log in allows us to build a lot of tooling on top of that, where we can build bots that can connect people together. Since we know what your Discord is, we can, if somebody, one of the things that popped up in my head was like, we want to get people trying to like mentor each other, and so somebody could volunteer to mentor or pair with somebody on an issue on GitHub, and then so there's like a syntax that you can use on GitHub that the bot will pick up. That bot would then go find your Discord and the person you're pairing with on Discord and just like create a one-off channel just for the two of you, to have a space and like kind of automate that flow of like getting started working on something together. So that doesn't have to be something we do. That's just been kind of generally some of the things I've been thinking about, or things in that direction. So it feels like this issue is probably not great for the site itself, but like if we want to build internal tooling, I think that's like an essential thing that we'll want to have available to us to build more tools on top of it.
We do have a tooling channel, just saying. The foundation is there.
Very true.
So yeah, that is all the new tickets. So we have 2 that are open that meet our criteria for stale. Get those up. So that is making the navigation bar responsive and the about page.
I am pairing with Orlando. He opened a PR to make it responsive, and there were a couple feedback items I left, and we're actually going to pair on that at 6 p.m. EST today, to kind of walk through those and resolve those concerns for that PR so we can get that merged. So we do have a plan for getting that one taken care of at least. I think the about page is probably going to be something we're going to defer to the design guild, and I think a lot of that is like the marketing guild kind of figuring out like what exactly is the content we want on the site to sell the DAO to others. There's a comment on the issue about mission values and goals, which I think like Natter was really big on wanting that. So I think that they'll probably build on this conversation a little more than we have, so we can just, I don't know, leave it stale or close it and kind of let them pick up on that.
Yep. All right, and then as of last, okay, we still have, in general, we have 14 issues open. We've addressed 6. The other ones, I don't know if we want to iterate over all of them, but they're open. People are still commenting. I think must have been between last night and today. Yes, we do have the missing translations are stale, but that's not really a surprise. Well, if anyone on the call happens to speak Portuguese fluently with the Brazilian and Portuguese and whatever the international standard is, I'd be really appreciated if you could address those missing keys. But yeah, whoever did our initial run of Portuguese translations does not seem to be readily available. Anything that stands out? Yeah, nothing else really jumps out at me as being that big, that hotly contested.
98 is still open. I think I got ghosted by Vercel. I sent another chaser just before the meeting, so who knows when they will respond.
Yep.
Third support email is the charm. Just how the trace is.
And that blocks more than one ticket, so yeah, that's gross. But then I mean, this is kind of a segue to PRs anyway. 114 is the other big one of interest. being the landing/home page. And that is tied to pull request 167. And with that, we have 9 open pull requests. No, 10 open pull requests now. So as of 5 days ago, the PR 167 has a merge conflict. But yeah, I guess just take it from the top because that's not a clean follow-up. Out of our 9 open pull requests, we have initializing the storybook. That is a draft. Fixing some characters for Chinese, the ZHCN abbreviation, traditional Chinese.
Yeah, there was like some discussion between Chinese translators to like fix some characters, so I think we're just waiting on somebody to tell us if it's good or not. I have no way of knowing.
Yeah, no, agreed. Looking at it from the outside, just being like, oh, they're conversing the finer points of those characters. Yeah, the limits of our language. Cypress tests.
Yeah, Manny left an update in the website channel that he's still working through it, but also wondering if it'll be put on hold till the new website launches.
Okay.
Which, I don't know. Guess it's possible.
Clearly the right answer is to get the tests out now, so that then when someone else breaks the tests, then they have to fix them. Because that's very Manny. You got to get it to someone else.
Delegate, bro. Delegate.
Yeah. Does your cat have an appropriately sinister name as the the Dark Emperor of
Kenichi.
the Developer Guild?
Kenichi is not very sinister at all.
Okay.
Yeah, this whole time in both of these meetings, he's just been sitting like right here on the desk next to my laptop, just staring at me continuously. It's like, I don't know what you want from me, dude. I'm just some guy. So that's my response to pretty much everyone. I don't know what you want from me. I'm just some guy.
Yep. All right. Responsive navbar, that's the one you referred to, so you'll be pairing with project code on that one later, Orlando. Redesigning the landing page. So 167 is actually a draft.
Yeah, I asked, I think G3 Root ended up becoming a member.
Okay.
I asked them to open it because I wanted to give them a good review, and I haven't I haven't gotten to it yet. Basically, my thoughts on it are that like the big thing I wanted to give in the review was, as we may have talked about this last week, I can't remember, but like I think it's really important with PR for things to be atomic. Lumping too many things together means that it's very hard to review, and if we like one of the things but don't like all the other things, it's more effort on everybody's part to separate that out. So like there's things in there, they've done a lot of different changes to like add path aliases and a couple different things that like I think on their own are worth investigating for the project, but all of it in one PR is not great. So I wanted to leave that open and give that review and kind of like give some thoughts on the different pieces, so we can like maybe move forward with them or not. But yeah, we're not going to move forward with that PR as a whole for the landing page.
Yep. All right. Next one is the resources page, in which I have consumed so much of everyone else's time.
You gave me those keys, or the variables for Airtable. I finally got that running like 5 minutes before the onboarding meeting, so I was like, I'm mid-review of going through that and giving some feedback. But yeah, I really like the direction. I think that's going to be a really, really nice thing to have on the site.
Yeah, it looks really dope. And FYI, the keys are set as environment variables on Vercel if you anyone ever wanted to get.
Yes, someone had asked me about getting those. That reminds me, I will have to try to remember to get the keys. just going to throw myself under the bus / make myself accessible in the notes here. Contact. I mean, yeah, I guess moving forward, people will still need this. Okay. Yeah, the only thing with that is, Daiwat, you had talked about maybe wanting to screen share or talk about the specific, like, getting the callback to fall when the metadata does come through but the picture is not valid.
Yeah, like, can you show me, like, in what case is it not working properly? Because I tried to understand, but like, I just, can you
Yes.
like show me a specific case or a link where it's not working as the way we want it to?
Yep, let me... Running. Okay, damn it. Really enjoying that Node 17 broke like everything. And my NVM, like, I haven't actually set the default back yet, so every time I open a new terminal, I've tried to do something and it fails, and then I have to, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll use
Are you
LTS.
using the 17? Are you using the 17 version of Node?
You're super quiet. Are you asking if I'm using 17?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I have it installed.
Don't ever use Node. Don't use old version of Node. They're not gonna, like, don't use them. They're not. I'm totally serious. Like, they go, like, pairs are going to be LTS, odds are going to be whatever they want for breaking stuff. Then they're like the 18 version will be LTS. So just skip the 17, whatever.
Yeah.
15.
I've been burnt by that, man. Like art burnt by Node.
Yeah, odd versions are basically, you can just treat them like a beta.
Well, apparently it is.
Like,
yeah.
it's more of an alpha knowing Node.js. Like, the beta is the LTS.
Okay.
Well, today I learned.
Yeah. I just try to keep up on things because my biggest thing for work is Angular. Angular just throws out, hey, like, if you get one behind and you upgrade, like, you got a chance. If you get two behind and you try to upgrade, like, no, just start over. Don't.
Yeah, like, my way of doing, like, if you use NVM, you know, have an NVMRC in every project, so you can just NVM use and install the version, but just stuck to the LTS, like, stuck to the near LTS and you're good, like, whatever.
Yeah. And yeah, everything I've been doing has been pushing me back. Like, my work machine, I've defaulted back to LTS, but my own machine, like, I want to use the new things. In any case, here we are. Here's the resources page. I think you can see my screen. Hopefully it's the right one. I have like 4 virtual desktops right now. Okay. So images come through. They're lovely. That's great. But some of them, like this one's special because this one I'm fairly confident is actually a relative link on their... yeah, so the image is a relative link on their blog. So if we get a resource, or I guess when you fetch it, if you get a resource that is a relative path, then you should just call it bad. That or do some magic to try to reassemble the full path.
Right.
And the other thing is here I took out the fallback. But their values, I want to say, come across as the string null, and I'm not capturing that now. Let me...
Which one? The one in the...
yeah, because I'm pretty sure this one has an image. Maybe it doesn't. At least one of these.
are we getting those from the metadata, like the Twitter metadata or
Yes.
Facebook metadata?
Yeah, so this is using Daiwatt's React Link preview fork, which is really quite nice. You can see it working on all these other ones.
Can you like send the link? Let me see if we are getting the data.
Sure. Would that be? Can't.
Oh, 8-Bay is here. I think Nav wanted to ask you something.
Me? No. I think.
Oh.
I think the thing was like early on we were wondering whose inferior key we're using on the site. And I think Mark might have said maybe we're using Ibis, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I apologize. I'm just gonna have to like spam you each of these in order to make sure I have it.
It's fine.
But it's deployed on preview, so you can go on the link itself if you wanted.
So the issue is that the proxy that I'm using, it's not fetching an image, so just returning no. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, it is my ID. It's my inferior ID, and I did get some emails saying that we're hitting the limit. I'll just check it now.
Okay. Yeah. I think we can only get so far with like a free inferior key.
Yeah, it's 100. It's 100,000. Oh, sorry. 100,000 requests, which is strange that we're hitting that.
Yeah, you know what? I think maybe it's because it's the same key that's being used on the testnet and prod. Maybe that's why we're hitting the limit there.
Okay, so let's see. I'll bump it up. If we want to continue using it, I can bump it up. Hold on. Oh yeah, the requests are flying in.
Yeah.
I think it's about
about the rate limit. You could use the default provider by by ethers, and it will fall back automatically to like if you set Alchemy, Etherscan, and Infura keys, it will fall back. So it will use the fallback. So I don't think I tried the Alchemy service with my website, and I've done like 10,000 queries in 1 second or something, and it's not rate limited at all. And Ethers can actually try to not get you rate limit. So if you switch to the default provider from Etherscan and you provide more than one API key, I think you'll be good.
Are we using the inferior for the new feature, which checks how many tokens left and whatnot, or is it simply for the minting?
I don't recall, but I know the inferior key is only used when anybody tries to do a wallet connect. It doesn't get used on MetaMask.
Regarding that link preview issue, I think it's like about time I need to write some of my own logic, because at the moment the proxy is just using an npm package which is fetching all of that metadata, and sometimes it just doesn't work. So if I want to fix that, I need to write some of my own web scraping logic or something.
Well, I guess my thing is we don't really need it to necessarily get it. I just want to be able to use an element instead of a static image. So the logic that you use to render the fallback image, I want to be that restrictive, because right now it seems like the only way that you render the fallback element is if the metadata is null. So,
Yeah. Okay.
so if we could just check if the image is invalid, the string null, the value null, undefined, and if it's a relative link, then we could just use, and we'd have to set a priority, or we have to, in some way, you have to choose between your fallback and your fallback URL. But I would like to be able to use the fallback element, because I want to slap some text up there saying, hey, this image didn't load, and then still have an image to show, instead of just falling back to an image.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think, I can work something out over this weekend.
Okay. I mean, right now it's pretty good with the fact that it actually shows the fallback, like the link icon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's certainly satisfactory. In the meantime, I would love for it to be better, but here I am not taking the effort to figure out why Node.js doesn't like me. So kind of whatever works on your schedule.
Yeah, I think I have some free time over the weekend, and
Okay.
I think it'll be fun working on this, because I haven't touched it for a long time. So that's a good thing.
All right.
Hey man, this is a great example of DAO-based tooling.
Yeah,
That's why
I think that's one of the most important, or like the most impactful things the developer guild can do is basically create things like this open source tooling that people can build upon, not just us from this DAO or other DAOs, other people, anyone.
Okay. Realized the reason I was having problems understanding people's voices is I was using the wrong speakers. So hopefully I'm a little better now. Unless I just entirely lost sound. Okay, no, there we go. Yes, and that is much better. But yes, overall, that sounds good, and then hopefully we can just finish working on the rest of our PRs. I'll take that silence as yes.
I'll see if I have any. I have some time over the weekend to go through some of the PRs. I'm going to do some here and there, but I'll make some time.
Cool. Yeah, it's not crazy. Most of them are not done. So like the next one, 159, this is the main one that we're working on having the redesign of the page. So Daiwa kicked it off, and then Z has been following up on it. And we're getting positive reviews out of Narbs and Thomas Meta, so that's good. That may very well be ready to go just as soon as it's turned into a real PR. 158, show available token list on the min page. Seems Mark even the one commenting on it. But this is one where it's like, wow, is this really worth adding that it's this late in the game? Okay. 127, another one of mine in which I've pulled the entire community into commenting for forever. And I'm still supposed to just rip out the script that does this. Mark, you're muted.
I was just licking my beard.
Oh, okay.
That's what you do when you have a beard.
Yes.
There's snacks from Carlos from previous meals and things.
Yep. Okay. Just out of the corner of my eye. yeah, this is still on me just to make the script a pre-commit hook script like it was originally, like a month ago.
Yeah,
And
I think we should just like.
just close it.
Oh, no, especially since it's gonna involve more keys, like maybe just spring for an actual like translation service. Like with Chakra, we just switched to. I don't remember the name of the site, but it makes it really easy to manage translations and like have all the integrations and stuff. So just not deal with this crap. But yeah, I think for now, like just switching to that. The pre-commit hook is good enough.
Yeah.
It was like a cool idea at the start where it was like, oh, we can build tooling around translations. And then every time I've touched it and tried to like build an action or like play with something to like build an dashboard, I'm just like, I don't actually really want to do this. It's not as fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Just a little bit of your happiness taken away. Validate token number from URL printer. It's 105. Many comments.
Yeah, this is the one still waiting on Microsoft, so
Excellent. Yes.
much GG on this.
All right. And how is it that this one gets hit with the build problem and not everything else you do? I guess that would be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's again something to do with the translations. I don't know. I don't know whether or not it's just like the library we're using with translations doesn't play nice with Verso or vice versa, but maybe it's gonna stop us for a person. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like nothing online. Like no good solutions or any solution that is recommended basically to generate everything statically or else it doesn't work. So I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, that takes us through our issues and PRs, and then the only other stuff is design. So Manny volunteered to take a look at the resource cards just to see if there's anything else we want to do with them design-wise, or maybe that's just another thing we hand off to. I don't know if this makes as much sense to hand it off to the marketing team or whatever, because it's on the website, but it's kind of more tech focused. The design team, I guess, would be the better question. Design guild.
Are you talking? I'm sorry, I said that for a second. Are you talking about Manny's PR?
No, this is for the resource cards. So he volunteered to take a look at the resource cards on the resource page. So yeah, if he gets turned around.
Did we already have Cypress? Felipe did some work on that?
Yeah, Manny's got a PR, draft PR on it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Cypress is already integrated.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just this series is for testing the wallet interaction.
Oh,
Specifically.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah, so aside from that, there's the website will be shifted over to the Design Guild, proposed features and projects, season 0, as has been the refrain for so long. Miscellaneous, anything that we can be doing to prepare for season 0. Yeah, I don't have anything either. So that covers everything on the agenda. Any thoughts? All right. Well, I'll take that overwhelming silence. Or, no. Do you have thoughts, Com? No. You got fans? You got fans. So yeah, I guess I should actually take a picture as attendance. Actually, what the hell am I thinking? I'm literally recording this. How could I not have attendance? So, So yeah, that will be it then. Thank you for coming to our hastily rescheduled website meeting, and we will talk to you all in a week, or maybe we won't, because this will be someone else's problem, and then we'll be organized and managed completely differently than it is right now. And to that, I defer to our, I don't know, what's a quick, someone give me a leadership title here, a ridiculous over the top leadership title.
Leader. It always don't go with leader. It always has to be quick. I'm very uncomfortable with leader. Not here to tell anybody what to do.
The commandant of developers, Mark.
And I like Admiral.
Admiral, yes.
Admiral is Admiral. Yeah,
That's quite high ranking. Yes.
what's the highest Navy?
Fleet Admiral, which we only occasionally stand up during wars because other nations have these ridiculous high ranking titles. So, like, we don't run 5 stars usually. But you'll roll it out in order to talk to your allies. But, yeah. So yeah, we'll figure all that out as Grand Moff with Heart decides.
Nice.
Thank you.